Good morning, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. The OCTA Research Team says the country is now experiencing a new wave of COVID cases. In an interview with One News' The Chiefs, OCTA team member Nick Austriaco confirmed that the reproduction number, or R0 in NCR, has breached the 1.0 mark, signaling an increase in transmission. Still, Austriaco says there are ways to pull this reproduction rate down without reverting to a stricter quarantine classification.
Government should consider limiting mobility more in the NCR to prevent that wave from really rising. For example, increasing the length of the curfew. So there are things you can do without going into MECQ.
But what can we expect exactly if this increase in transmission is not mitigated as soon as possible? Well, OCTA team member Guido David says that we might be looking at 500,000 cases nationwide before the end of the year.
500,000 cases by end of the year for Metro Manila. It could go up higher than that. 500,000 in the whole Philippines, total number of cases. It can end up a bit higher than that if cases increase faster than we would like it to be. So, we'll have updated projections probably by next week.
Former National COVID-19 Task Force Advisor Tony Leachon raised concerns about the government's plan to conduct a dry run of face-to-face classes in low-risk areas as early as January next year. Leachon says the government should ensure the safety of both teachers and students for the duration of the dry run. He also said that adjustments would have to be made in infrastructure to make sure that schools and classrooms are ready to comply with the new normal. And finally, Leachon suggested that the Education Department be willing to work closely with the DILG should any problems arise.
As a suggestion, is to do a pilot study in certain academic institutions where you can easily close down just in case there will be a surge in the number of cases. And this has been done in other countries, particularly Korea and Singapore and other areas.
And more people are getting inoculated against COVID-19 abroad. Over in the United States, the largest vaccination campaign in history is underway, with health workers getting some of the first shots. The mass inoculation begins an effort to beat COVID-19 as the nation's death toll nears a staggering 300,000. Up in Canada, a long-term care worker received the first vaccine administered in Ontario. The Great White North joined the UK and the US as the first Western countries to give citizens the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. Meanwhile, Singapore has become the first Asian country to approve the Pfizer vaccine, and residents are expected to start receiving shots by the end of December. 68-year-old Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong will be among the early recipients in the city-state. The Singapore government, said it is looking to secure enough vaccines for everyone in Singapore by the third quarter of next year. We're pausing for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The NLEX has reopened more cash lanes after the rather chaotic debut of the fully cashless payment system. To tell us more about that, we have Justine Punsalang joining us live from the Karuhatan Mindanao Toll Plaza in Valenzuela City. Hi, Justine. Good morning, and how's the traffic situation over there?
Sean, at the NLEX NLEX Balintawak, there are currently 4 toll booths that can accommodate cash payments following the complaints about the problematic RFID system along the expressway. Besides the toll plaza at Balintawak, there are also cash lanes at Bukawe and Tabang exit. While there are still complaints about the RFID scanners not being able to read the stickers of motorists, the NLEX Corporation assures the public that they are working on the system's efficiency. Meanwhile, motorists need not to pay at toll gates located inside Valenzuela City as the city government still has not yet revoked its suspension of NLEX Corporation's business permit. These toll gates include Paso de Blas, Mindanao Avenue, Karuhatan Mindanao Avenue, Karuhatan Harbor Link, Karuhatan MacArthur Highway, and Lawang Bato northbound. Yesterday, the NLEX management and Valenzuela LGU had a meeting to discuss a middle ground and allow NLEX to return to operations within the city. However, both parties had not yet reached an agreement, especially since Mayor Rex Gatchalian insists that the barriers should permanently remain upright even with RFID scanners working. Gatchalian explained that these barriers only cause traffic at toll booths. Sean, we are here at the Karuhatan Mindanao Avenue Toll Plaza, and since we are still inside Valenzuela City, this means that vehicles can just pass through the toll gates for free. However, we noticed that some drivers stop at the toll booths expecting to have a teller pop out of the booth and charge them for toll fees. Sean?
All right, thank you so much for that update. Justine Punsalang reporting to us live from the city of Valenzuela. In light of these issues, the Senate has adopted a resolution asking the Transportation Department to immediately suspend the implementation of cashless transactions along tollways. Public Services Committee Chairperson Grace Poe recognized that cashless system is a step towards a safer and more convenient travel experience. However, she said it's unfair to subject the public to a system when the implementers themselves are not yet ready to make the transaction seamless. The senator is now urging the DOTr to ease the burden of motorists, saying they've suffered enough in the past weeks from what she calls a chaotic and oppressive rollout of the cashless system. And it's finally official. Democratic candidate Joe Biden is the 46th President of the United States. The U.S. Electoral College formally declared Biden's victory over the incumbent, Donald Trump. In a primetime speech on Monday, Biden called on Americans to, quote, turn the page on the Trump era. Some Trump supporters have called for protests on social media, and election officials had expressed concerns about the potential violence amid the presidency's heated rhetoric. In his victory speech, Biden touted the flame of democracy that sparked in America a long time ago. He said their win proved that nothing, not even a pandemic or abuse of power, can extinguish that flame. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.